The moment you stop being controlled, everything changes. Stoicism. There is a moment in every person's life that quietly divides who they were from who they are about to become. It doesn't arrive with noise or celebration. It comes as a realization, a sharp awareness that much of your life has been shaped by forces you never chose. Expectations, fear, pressure, emotions, and the opinions of others. Stoicism teaches that this realization is not something to fear. It is the beginning of freedom. Because the moment you see the control, you also see the possibility of breaking it. Most people move through life reacting instead of choosing. They wake up and immediately surrender their peace to circumstances, notifications, messages, stress, comparisons. Their mood is dictated by what happens, not by what they decide. This is how control works. It's subtle. It convinces you that your reactions are natural and unavoidable. But the Stoic mind refuses to accept that. It understands that between what happens and how you respond, there is a space. And in that space lies your power. You cannot control everything that happens to you. That truth is unavoidable. You cannot control how people behave, how opportunities unfold, or how life tests you. But you can control how you interpret those events. You can control your thoughts, your actions, your discipline. And when you focus only on what is within your control, something remarkable happens. You stop feeling overwhelmed. You stop feeling powerless. You begin to feel steady. Think about how often your emotions have taken control of your actions. Anger has made you say things you regret. Fear has stopped you from doing things you needed to do. Doubt has made you question your worth. These emotions are powerful, but they are not commands. Stoicism teaches that emotions are signals, not rulers. You can feel them without obeying them. And the moment you learn that, your life begins to change. Detachment is one of the most misunderstood ideas in Stoicism. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop attaching your peace to outcomes. You still work hard. You still aim high. But you no longer allow success or failure to define your identity. You give your best effort, and then you let go. This kind of mindset creates a calm confidence that cannot be shaken by temporary results. When you stop being controlled, you stop chasing approval. Many people live their entire lives trying to be accepted. They adjust their behavior, silence their thoughts, and limit their potential just to fit in. But this is a trap. The more you seek validation, the more control you give away. Stoicism teaches that your value does not come from others, it comes from your character. When you build that from within, you become independent of opinions. Discipline becomes your foundation. Not motivation, not emotion, discipline. Because motivation fades, and emotions change. But discipline is a decision. It's what keeps you moving forward when you don't feel like it. It's what helps you stay focused when distractions try to pull you away. Every time you choose discipline, you strengthen your control over yourself. Silence becomes your strength. You don't need to respond to every insult, every misunderstanding, or every opinion. Not everything deserves your energy. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. When you learn to stay quiet and focused, you protect your mind from unnecessary chaos. Another shift happens when you stop trying to control other people. This is something many struggle with. You want people to act a certain way, to understand you, to meet your expectations. But the truth is, you cannot control them. And the more you try, the more frustrated you become. Stoicism teaches acceptance. Let people be who they are, and focus on who you choose to be. Pain is unavoidable. Discomfort is part of growth. But suffering comes from resistance. When you fight reality, you create more pain for yourself. When you accept reality and focus on your response, you become stronger. You stop asking, "Why is this happening?" and start asking, "How can I use this?" Fear is one of the strongest forms of control. It keeps people stuck in situations they have outgrown. It stops them from taking risks, from speaking up, from pursuing their goals. But fear loses its power the moment you act despite it. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move forward anyway. The moment you stop being controlled by fear, you open doors that once seemed impossible. You start taking action. You start believing in your ability to handle whatever comes. And with each step, your confidence grows, not because life becomes easier, but because you become stronger. Your thoughts also play a critical role. If you don't control your mind will control you. Negative thinking patterns can trap you in cycles of doubt and limitation. Stoicism encourages awareness. Observe your thoughts. Question them. Replace what weakens you with what strengthens you. Time becomes more valuable when you take control. You stop wasting it on things that don't matter, arguments, distractions, endless scrolling. You begin to invest your time in growth, learning, and meaningful action. And over time, these small decisions compound into massive change. When you stop being controlled, your relationships change. You no longer tolerate disrespect. You no longer chase people who don't value you. You build connections based on mutual respect and understanding. And because you are no longer dependent on others for validation, your relationships become healthier. You also become more present. Instead of being trapped in regrets about the past or worries about the future, you focus on what is in front of you. This is where life actually happens. And when you are fully present, your actions become more effective. There is a quiet confidence that comes with self-control. It's not loud or arrogant. It doesn't need attention. It's steady, grounded, and powerful. People notice it, even if they can't explain it. It's the energy of someone who is not easily shaken. You begin to trust yourself more. You trust your decisions, your instincts, your ability to handle challenges. And this trust becomes your foundation. Because when you trust yourself, you stop seeking constant reassurance from others. Everything changes, not all at once, but gradually. You start to see things differently. Situations that once triggered you no longer have the same effect. Problems that once felt overwhelming become manageable. You begin to operate from a place of clarity instead of chaos. This transformation is not easy. It requires awareness, practice, and consistency. There will be moments when you fall back into old patterns. That's part of the process. What matters is that you recognize it and return to your path. The Stoic path is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about becoming a little stronger, a little calmer, and a little more disciplined each day. Over time, these small improvements create a powerful change. Imagine a life where your peace is not dependent on circumstances. Where your happiness is not controlled by others. Where your actions are guided by purpose, not impulse. This is the life Stoicism offers. The moment you stop being controlled, you stop living by default and start living by design. You take ownership of your life. You become responsible for your choices. And with that responsibility comes freedom. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. The moment you decide to take control of your thoughts, your actions, and your direction. The moment you stop waiting for things to change and start changing yourself. Stay committed to this path. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep growing. Because the version of you that exists on the other side of self-control is stronger than anything you've known before. And if this message resonates with you, if you're ready to transform your mindset and take control of your life, make sure you subscribe to this channel right now.